Yeah, just luckily this one's a short one.
Oh,
The last, not yesterday, but one before, I had to shoot 2 days for one video. Tom went through like 2 hours of footage,
really?
and he's still cutting it, and it's about like metrics and shit, and it's boring as f***. Wagwan, that's UK slang for what is going on. Apparently all the Utes are saying it. Anyway, I'm Dan from the Videos HQ, and this is episode 6. So this video is about getting to know your customers with 4 big questions. So these are Joey's kind of go-to questions that he asks himself about his customers before he makes a video. It's an exercise he makes sure he practices before he makes any video content. And it's something that's helped craft his campaigns and increase his conversions by up to 400%. It basically helps you to understand who's on the other side of the screen. And it's an invaluable tool to make sure you're producing content and that you know is going to be reliable and that other people are going to want to watch it. Now, these questions are pretty simple, but that's what we like here. A lot of marketers go about saying that you need to simulate 20 plus personas that you know so well that you can predict what they're going to eat for breakfast. But honestly, unless you've never met or talked or even thought about your customers, you probably have all the information you need to make some great videos. You probably don't need to pour hours and hours of time into client research, although, you know, it can help. Again, we're trying to keep this simple. Am I sitting up straight? That was one of Joey's fundamental rules. So yeah, you don't need to do a load of research. You don't need to read every marketing book, this one excluded, or every post that's out there on marketing. You don't need to hire, you know, marketing experts. You just need to allocate 10 minutes of your time to ask these simple questions. And Joey promises it will be time well spent. Maybe we need to put a disclaimer in there. He promises, but doesn't guarantee. So number 1, what's your client's biggest problem? So for now, just think about your last client. They bought your product because it solved a problem. What was that problem? Were they trying to save time, money? Did they need a process simplified or a pain-free solution? If the specific customer you imagine has multiple pain points that can relate to your product, then write them all down. Number 2, what are the major implications of those problems? For the customer to want to buy your product or service, the problem will more than likely be serious or annoying enough that they're seeking other solutions. You know, has the problem caused unnecessary anxiety or stress in their life? Have they previously wasted time or money trying to fix it with no success? Joey goes on in the book to say, some marketers call it implications pain points. I've already said pain points, so I'm well ahead of them. The question should evoke a strong emotion for the viewer, but the implications don't necessarily have to be painful. They could be annoying or stressful or confusing, just as long as the implications are serious enough to warrant a response. Sometimes the customer doesn't have a problem that's serious today, but potentially will be serious down the line. If this is true of the client you've imagined, then you can ask a slightly more modified question like this. If the customer doesn't find a solution, what are the future implications? And number 3, what are your customers or prospects desperate for? Probably desperate for me to stop recording this crap. What would the problem solve? The solution should fall into the scope of your product, but isn't your product. At least not yet anyway. For example, someone struggling for time management in their home office might be desperate for a simpler way to record their work hours. Spoiler, your company designed an app for that. See where I'm going there? Number 4, what is a perfect? What is a perfect scenario for your prospect? If your prospect's problem was suddenly to disappear, what would be the result? Would they suddenly have more money to buy a house or more time to spend with their family? Would they spend less effort troubleshooting and put more energy into growing their business? Would they gain confidence or social clout? Clout sounds like a fish. Imagine how your client's life would change if the problem was solved. So those are your 4 big questions you should be asking yourself. Here's an example with those questions based around a fitness instructor. So to get a better idea of how these questions can be implemented, imagine you're a fitness trainer who wants to attract more clients via their YouTube channel. You're hoping to get enough new clients to hire additional trainers and want to try video marketing. So you sit down with these 4 questions and use your last client as an avatar, or at least a representation of your potential prospect. So this client came to you after finding out some bad news. A physical examination revealed that they're clinically obese. They knew that it was a potential problem for a while, but never had a formal diagnosis until now. They've always been self-conscious about their weight, and a trip to the doctor has worsened this. The doctor has said that they're on track for type 2 diabetes and possible heart attack. This means less time for spouse and their kids. So your client had to get healthy and lose the weight. So to figure out how to attract more clients like this one, ask yourself 4 questions. What was your prospect's biggest problem? Your client is considered obese and self-conscious as a result. What are the major implications of this problem? Your client faces some potentially life-changing or life-ending conditions like obesity, type 2 diabetes, and possible heart attack. And if left unchanged, could reduce their quality of life or even end it. What are your prospects desperate for? Your client is desperate to lose weight and regain their health. What is a perfect scenario for your prospect? Your client's perfect scenario is that they're going to be healthy for a longer time and have a better quality of life to spend with their kids and their family. These questions offer a wealth of content ideas. For this particular client, the fitness instructor could make some really good video content about exercises, healthy eating. It could include some kind of motivational content around weight loss and confidence, or interview a dietary expert. This isn't a complicated exercise, unlike the exercises that the fitness trainer might be providing. At the core of it, it's a basic understanding of your client's needs and the problems and solutions that you're going to provide. Empathize with your client, provide a solution to the problem, and boom. Some businesses serve various clients who come with them with multiple different problems. For example, the fitness trainer will likely have more clients who come to them with different issues, not just being obese, but potentially wanting to get in shape for a competition, or they've got an event like a triathlon or something. Or maybe they have another client who's never been to the gym before, wants to know how to use the equipment. These clients all have different problems to solve. Therefore, the trainer has a lot of different content ideas to make some videos. Each video will be aimed at solving a different avatar's problem. Videos tip. If your client comes to you with various problems, try and make a video to cover each of these niches. Okay, so that's it for episode 6. Hopefully you should get a better idea of the kind of questions you should be asking yourself to get to know your potential customers better. Remember, 4 big questions. What is your customer's biggest problem? What are the implications of these problems? What are your customers desperate for? And what is the perfect scenario for your customer? Next week we'll be going over Joey's perfect recipe for making the... Next week we'll be going over Joey's... Next time we'll be going over... Oh, me, you know what? Next week.